believe it's all over.
It's all ogre.
Anime forever has ended.
I'm glad we got to ride out the end of all anime with you guys, but it's time for us to return to our home planet.
Yeah, we only came to this planet for the anime.
And now that there is none, we just got to destroy it. So we hope you've enjoyed our run as the hosts of the Protagonist seat. You have approximately 6 to 7 days before your planet is annihilated to make room for a new space highway. Speaking of, this is the Protagonist seat. If you didn't know, it's a podcast that Alex and I, Ian, host. Every season, we pick 5 shows, we talk about them, and then at the very end, we have a very special occasion. This is the summer 2020 Protagonist Seat Anime Awards Spectacular.
Special finale.
The special finale.
Special finale.
Where we dole out the awards. We tell you what the best of the best is and what the worst of the worst is. And we do that for you. It's a free service.
Even though we don't usually go into what the worst of the worst is, but we kind of have to start with the worst of the worst this week.
Yeah, because we have no choice.
Tower of God, or The God of High School, I don't know, they had 2 Korean series about God just pop up within the 2 seasons of each other. So, fuck it.
Tower of God, it's
Korean
okay.
series.
God of High School,
so
no.
They have the final episode where, of course, we were correct. He is Sun Wukong.
He is the monkey god.
Yep.
Monkey king, I should say.
Yeah, the Monkey King. And I think my biggest problem with this series is that there's some good ideas in this show. There's some good ideas that are here, and you can see the idea of what he's going for with this series, but they just don't really integrate. He didn't integrate them well, and they weren't put in well, because while watching this entire scene where he was fighting, I'm like, this should be hype as fuck. This should be the hypest fight.
But it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, I was trying to enjoy it too. I'm like, everything looks cool, it sounds cool, everything's just cranked up to 11. But these 2 characters just met.
Yeah, they've
like Shark Guy and him have just basically met. This is really their first interaction.
They have looked at each other
in the park.
Exactly. They have looked at each other from across an empty park, and that's it. There's no setup for anything. And that, I would say, that is easily the most consistent problem we've had with this entire show, is the setup for things is either rushed through or just so weak or just non-existent that everything that should have impact lacks impact. And it's just it's a bummer, man.
Yeah.
But Sun Wukong fights,
and again, it looks cool. He does all the things. He has the I forget the name of his staff, but you know how it can grow in size.
Yeah, he's got the infinitely growing staff. He's got all sorts of, he's just super strong and fast and cool and awesome.
And yeah, he kicks the shit out of Angel version of Jargle, and it looks like they won, but then he turns into a gross abomination version where he's got all the people he ate coming out of him.
Yeah, and then they gotta fight that, but everyone comes together.
Everyone teams up, music starts playing, and they're all using their stand powers together.
And I'm like, hey, that's cool. That's a thing that actually had a little bit of impact.
Yeah,
not necessarily EPO, but like the other 3 main characters have been going through all this stuff together. So like that is a bond and a fight that is well earned.
Yeah, and they defeat him, and at the end where Jin gets his wish, they all get a wish because it's like a 3-person thing, but for some reason, Dewa and why am I forgetting her name right now?
Mira.
Mira, yeah. Dewa and Mira are just like, we don't need a wish. The true wish was the friends we made along the way.
Because I think it's because the tournament is usually a single person
Yeah.
affair. Also,
Yeah,
guess who wakes up the superpowered fucking progenitor of all humanity?
Yeah, Bruce Lee girl
Bruce Lee girl somehow
wanders into a cave.
wanders into somewhere. It is not established where this cave is, and accidentally wakes her up 2 weeks early.
Yep, and she shows up and she drags Bruce Lee girl back with her, complains about being woken up, but then grants them their wish. And Jin wants to wish to see his grandpa again, but then he notices Ippio's friends lost their limbs and decides to wish to heal everybody like they were before the battle.
The thing I don't like, I saw this and I was like, this feels like a good place to end season 1. But like, give me 1 second to try and frame my thoughts about this. Like, this felt like a fair way to end it. It doesn't make me understand what all that other shit is. Like, why did Nox have to be in this at all? Why could it just don't include Nox at all? Have it still be the fighting turn, but have Jago the
The
bad
key
guy.
and they needed it because the key is what makes them turn into an angel, and they needed to have him be super strong so Jin could awaken the Monkey King.
Yeah, but if you think about it, everything culminated in Jin fighting Jagal. The bad guy and the swarm of like monsters and the cultists fighting all the dudes in suits, none of that had to be in there at all.
That's true. He was supposed to fight Jagal anyway.
And Jagal is the one who swallowed Epio to separate him from the key. Like, the bad guy didn't have to do anything about it. And they didn't even like give the key to anyone, really. They just kind of had it, and then the bad guy ended up with it. Like, just
I guess
don't.
you wouldn't get the entire city destroyed though without them, and I think they wanted that stage apparently.
I guess so. I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of unnecessary bullshit that's in there that they could have cut to make room for better things like character development.
Oh, or like the part where he is first fighting Jagal in this too, and he does the pressure point thing, and then we get a cut back to his training that was skipped with the old man about the pressure points, and I'm like, this feels like such an important thing that was just glossed over, and we keep coming
Yeah,
back to that, like, remember the training, and I'm like, no, I don't remember the training. We skipped it.
we skipped the training, dude.
Can you
Like,
imagine
just
Dragon Ball where Goku goes to learn like the Kamehameha from Master Roshi, but they skip that part and they just cut to later when he knows it. And anytime you
yeah.
need to bring it up, they just cut to it like in the past.
All of a sudden, Goku can just KO Ken out of nowhere.
Yeah, we
All
skipped
he,
the whole King Kai
we
training arc for it. He just is back on Earth. He's like, guys, while I was dead, I learned a new technique.
exactly. I think that is probably the best way of putting it. And there's things that they could have cut to make room for that. Because I want to see that. I want to see the training. Show me that shit, man.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really need the backstory of the dude who was like 60 going to high school.
Yeah. We didn't need his backstory. We didn't need fucking Ario Speedwagon using Greco-Roman nukes to fight God. We didn't need that. Like,
Yeah.
the empty destroyed arena is cool, or shit city at this point is cool, but it's not necessary.
I did like what they set up for after, though, where it's like, all right, the God of High School tournament's over. The whole, Nox has run for president or something.
Yeah.
Thing
So
looks
the
dumb.
next,
Yeah,
the
Mugen's
next,
gonna run for president, I think.
their Mugen Park is gonna run against the leader of Nox for president of South Korea.
But I thought the one thing that looks stupid. Anything with Nox looks stupid, but I thought it was interesting where they're like, go around the world and collect the key fragments. I'm like, that might be cool. Russell Crowe fighting around the world.
Yeah, I also thought that was cool. I was like,
That'd be an interesting thing.
this feels like a cool setup for a season 2, except
Yeah.
there's all this other bullshit in the background that doesn't matter that we
Because
have.
imagine because I feel like if they had a season 2, it would go like, oh, hey, Jin Mori's in China fighting this guy. That's neat. And then we cut to what's going on with the whole politics thing with Mugen Park and Nox and his henchmen guys fighting in big spectacle battles that don't mean anything with Nox henchmen.
Yeah, I do feel the same, and I don't know, I'm not down. No, thank you.
Like I said, it's a show where you can see there's good ideas and there's a good story somewhere buried in poor execution.
Exactly. I hope beyond all hope that the manga, the original material, does not have these issues as exaggerated as they are now. But I don't know, man. Because I feel like if it did, it would not have been as popular. But I just don't know.
I
But
don't know
that
like what the pool though for manhwa is. Like maybe manhwa as a whole just isn't that great, and this is like the cream of the crop, which
maybe.
which I guess would be really bad.
Well, no, because like, I mean, if you've got stuff like Tower of God, which is it's it's all right, but it's still much better than this. Like it's at least watchable and the pacing is not terrible and you actually like get to learn about other characters so you care when things happen. But like this does not feel cream of the crop. And I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, but we should probably move at least somewhat. We'll up the pacing a little bit
Yeah,
just to
we
bring it into
are.
the awards show.
So that was Tower of God, the last episode, which had to cut into the award show because they couldn't finish along with everyone else.
Again, another issue I have with just having so much unnecessary feeling bullshit in their
Yeah.
program.
So ba there's the red curtain. It's the award show. The awards.
I have a lot of sensitive equipment on my desk, so I'm not gonna do that.
You
I'm not
coward.
gonna drum.
Coward.
Eh,
Drum coward.
no,
Drum.
no.
Drum. Come on,
I'm good.
drum. Do it.
Nope. I
Do it.
think I
Do it
think
for the
we should
fans.
just I think we should just open up the awards with where the shows start with the best OP award.
Yeah, the best OP. The best opening, which honestly, the season, they're all kind of okay.
Yeah.
We should have kept
no
up
no
with
other
No Gun's
comments.
life.
Can we? Do we have this in our power to just be like, yeah, fuck it. No Gun's life. You get it.
We could, but then it
It
seems kind of disingenuous.
it is our show, but it is in fact disingenuous because we haven't like talked about it more than maybe once. I feel like we've mentioned it at least at one point.
In passing, probably.
Yes.
But so for the best OP, we got. I'm not gonna play the clips this time like I've done in previous seasons because YouTube gets all butthurt about it.
Yeah,
So I'm just not going
they
to bother
really
with it. You can
they
go look it
really
up yourself.
Yeah, I know the names to most of them, so I will say the names to most of them.
So, best OP, we have Rent a Girlfriend. I don't have to do the pause because I'm not editing them in anymore.
Yeah, that one is Centimeter by the Peggies.
Fire Force.
Specifically Spark Again by Eimer?
Amir.
Amir? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it.
And the Misfit King, or the Misfit of Demon King Academy.
I'm looking that one up right now.
But yeah, so that one's interesting because twice now the voice actor for Anos has sung that theme.
It is Civilian by Seikai Fusakai, featuring Anos Voldigoad.
I think that means World Fusion or something.
Probably. Fusakai.
The voice actor has sung that song, so that's neat.
And
they've mentioned the Peggies in Rent a Girlfriend, so they've referenced their own opening.
Yeah.
And the Fire Force one is just good.
It's just good. It's a good song, and you should listen to it. You should listen to all of these OPs because they're pretty good.
I liked the Fire Force one. I think it's my favorite out of all the Fire Force openings so far because I remember I wasn't too big on the second one in season 1. The My Day,
Yeah,
My Day.
Cold.
This is a little intense, guys. Calm down. It's Fire Force.
Cold Rain. Cold Rain is an acquired taste.
My Day.
Cold Rain, also known for their hit song "Feed the Fire." This is the end.
Yeah, this is the end. You're not alone in this, my friend.
It's an acquired taste. But what do you hand your Gilded OP award to this season?
I am giving it to Fire Force.
It's a very good one. It's a very good one and a very strong showing. But I will hand my award to Centimeter by the Peggies. Because
the only award Rent a Girlfriend's probably getting this season.
Oh, you're goddamn right about that. Spoilers, because I like it, and it helped introduce me once again, to reintroduce me to the Peggies, a Japanese band I actually kind of like.
Because you remember them from Kimi no Se, ooh.
Yeah, which in my opinion is actually one of their weaker songs.
I just remember when we were at Anime Boston, I think at one of the panels there, and they had that, and a bunch of dudes in the audience were singing that, and I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, that's weird. That was a weird thing that happened that we witnessed. We were there for it. People get real into the OPs, and you know what? As much as I will call it weird, you do you, dude. Whatever you do to make yourself feel for a day, you do it.
Whatever tickles your fancy.
I would be lying if I said that I've never done a little at-work karaoke before. I like to listen to my iPod. I like to do a little singing. So you know what? You sing that OP, weird dude at Anime Boston. That's singing a song sung by girls that I'm pretty sure are younger than us.
Yeah, it's getting sad. It's getting sad whenever I look up a celebrity's age and I'm just like, oh, they could be my younger sister.
Yeah, we're getting to that age.
We're getting to the end.
Hey, people are younger than us and they're doing this stuff. Oh no. Oh no. Let's move on from this pit of what I can only call despair and sadness and dole out some more temporary happiness in the form of awards.
Yeah, we're done with our first quarter life crisis.
I know we got at least one or two more to go.
Bro, you're only giving yourself one more quarter.
I don't think I'm making it that far.
Are
I'm gonna
you
be
cutting
honest.
off at 50?
If I can make it that far, I would consider it an achievement.
But moving on to the EDs.
Now let's talk about how I'm not gonna live past 35 more. Let's talk about the our own impending demises. I'm sure people love that, right?
Hey, as long as it boosts ratings.
Sad millennial talks about own self-destruction. That's how we get famous, dude. Anyway, what's next?
So we got, for the best ED, Fire Force.
Because the only way to end the awards ceremony is to finish up with the ED. Except that's only the second category, so we're not ending it.
Yeah, but like I said, Fire Force.
I don't know. I don't know these ones off the top. I'll be honest.
Yeah, the EDs we weren't super into this season. The Misfit of Demon King Academy.
Yes.
And the God of High School.
Yes. Bonka donk, donka donk. All we do is just win.
So, yeah, all of these are just kind of okay.
Picking these was hard because there weren't very many good EDs this season. This was not a great season for it.
Considering last season had or the last, well, not last season because we didn't do traditional stuff last season, but the last season we did an awards ceremony. We had Inspector's ED, a safe last dance for you.
Yeah, dude, you got that slapping big band tune. That was great.
Yeah, we don't got that this season.
We don't.
But I do like Fire Forces, how it's kind of like a video game with Arthur and Shinra.
Is that what you are somewhat
I like the
regretfully?
the Misfit of Demon King Academy. I butchered that like every time I've said that tonight.
It's
I
a
like the
long
Misfit
ass
one.
title.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it the Misfit. I like the Misfit one. The visuals are just kind of static images, but I like the song.
Yeah.
Actually, I know why I like the song because I am pretty sure it is by the artist who did the OP for Hitsugu no Chaika, which is a show I really fucking like, which is just boosted up for me a little bit.
I'm not gonna. Well, I looked it up. I'm not gonna try and pronounce it.
Try anyway.
Okay. Hamidashimono by Tomori Kusunoki.
That wasn't bad.
It's because I've been practicing my Japanese. I've been trying to learn some JP in my off time.
You've been doing your reps.
I've been doing my Duolingo reps because Duolingo threatens to cut me if I don't.
But Duolingo, I hear, is terrible for learning Japanese.
Yeah, it is. It's not great.
It's really only good for the Western languages because we use the same scripts and stuff.
Yeah, actually, I started it because I actually used it to brush up on my German.
Yeah, it's good for European ones.
It's a lot better for that. And I figured, I might as well give it a shot. And I have, and it's not great.
I used it for Francais years ago.
Français.
Français.
Parlez-vous français? Oui. Is bibliothèque.
Is bibliothèque. I don't know.
That's all I know.
If I have to pick, I'm gonna go with the Fire Force one, just because the visuals are interesting.
If
I like
you
the
have
song
to pick,
I I like the song for the Misfit one, but the visuals are just like static images, like I said.
Yeah. Um, I think I'll actually give mine to God of High School because it's the one that I actually remember. It sticks out in my head like at all. And it's comfy cozy. It's a comfy cozy ED.
So there we go.
We
Um,
we
we did,
reluctantly handed out awards because we have the categories for them.
but now a category we feel strongly about.
This is an important category.
This is the most important category on the list.
It's probably the only
Best,
one people actually care about.
yeah, because no one cares about how you feel about best boy or best antagonist. Best girl.
Yes. Yes. The only true battle that ever matters.
We got 3. We got best snake, who's got the booty.
The
Safe
snake
from
booty.
Monster Girl Doctor. We have just the best little homunculus clone thing, Misha.
She is, yes. She has a smile that one must protect.
And the only girl that really dates Kazuya, Ruka.
Who deserves to be on this list by sheer force of will and perseverance alone.
Yeah, we didn't put Chizuru on the list, guys. Can you believe it? We're
Oh
probably like
no.
the only people for best girl of the season not putting Chizuru on there.
You know what? It's because she's an enabler, and I don't support that.
Yeah,
In a
stop
in a
enabling his
way,
bad behavior.
in a way, she is just as bad as Kazuya.
She is.
And that's what rockets us into the stratosphere. That's how we get our fame and our notoriety.
All right, so let's fight about this. Who do you pick?
I mean, it's got to be Misha, dude. The
Fuck!
smile.
I was gonna pick Misha too. Now we're not gonna fight about this.
I have foiled your plans because, much like Anos, I don't play by anybody's rules but my own.
Silver white hair is always best hair color for me.
It's a very good one, and she the smile, dude. It's the sweetest, and also she's the Opie sister. She's got a lot of things going for her.
She's just cute.
She's too cute. She just wins. Misha just wins.
I do like Safe a lot though.
Safe, we cannot minimize how important Safe is. Even though she did not win, her competition was very tough. Like, I feel like if she had been on some of the other seasons, she probably would have won. But this one is just
Yeah,
she's up against Misha, and
because
I don't know.
I don't know. I really like Misha. She was the first person to really like stick with Anos, and I do like Sasha too. But it's just I didn't want to put 2 from the same show on there.
Yeah. And out of the two, I think most people can agree that Misha is best sister.
Yeah,
If
Misha's
you
getting
don't,
a figure. If you want the Misha figure,
I've thought about it. I have
yeah,
actually contemplated it.
it's only like $170. You'd pay $170 for best girl, wouldn't you?
We'll see if the government shells out any more Corona cash.
They're not.
I know
They're not.
they're not. Um, I'm still tempted though, cause like she's just so good. She
Oh,
just
it's
wins.
October. That means I have my what's it called coming soon. Speaking of figures, I got my Kotoko figure coming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because despite the anime being super subpar, I really enjoy the Inspector manga.
Yeah, I feel like the anime adaptation isn't like a good format to do
It's
it justice.
it's a lot of talking.
It's 90%, it's 99% talking.
The series is dialogue.
Because it's investigation mystery and with a character that's missing a leg.
It's investigation mystery with a character that has primarily comes up with a solution to the, or just like a satisfactory solution, doesn't actually solve the mystery. So it's
Yeah.
basically her bullshitting for most of the series. Like, let
And
me
it's
just come up with something.
and it's great.
Story time.
Story time. And that's not very compelling for an anime.
Yeah.
We should, instead of talking about Inspector, refer people to watch the season of the podcast in which we watched Inspector and talked about it for
Yeah.
more in-depth dialogue and thoughts.
Winter 2020. Before the Rona hit.
Before the Rona hit. What a different time it was back then.
Remember when we thought we were going to go to conventions this year?
Yeah, I do. And I remember how cruelly those dreams were shattered.
Fragile lives, shattered dreams. ED of the
If
season, The Offspring.
I feel like The Offspring is the ED for 2020.
Yeah. Ian had a chance. Well, he really did. Whoa.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus. All right.
Alex lives at home because he's got no job. Just watches anime. And watches a lot of hentai. Whoa.
Wow, really pushing it to come up with a good rhyming scheme for that one.
Yeah.
Music is hard.
Music is hard. That's why people who can do music, it's like, hey, good on ya.
Good on ya. We should talk about our next category.
Boys.
Before we play scategories.
Boys.
What is a protagonist but a miserable little pile of secrets? I mean,
no,
what is a protagonist without their sidekick, without their boy loyal by their side,
Best
standing ready?
Boys.
We got the best boys. We give the guys equal time. I don't think that's an actual song. I think that's just some bullshit I made up.
We give the guys equal time.
Oh, on the protagonist seat. And then I just stole the Offspring. That's how it happens. That's how you write an Offspring song, guys. You come up with some bullshit that makes no sense, and then you just steal the Offspring.
From the Misfit of Demon King Academy, we have Lay.
He is a best friend character. He is a boy who gets some. You don't get that a lot. You don't get the side boys getting some side pieces.
Especially with such an alpha Chad as the harem lead.
Exactly.
There's normally no room, but he's like, hey, you can have that one.
And not only does he get someone in the harem, he gets the head of the main character's fan club.
That's pretty good.
That's some shit right there, dude.
Also, he's pretty suave.
He is. I dig him. And he's like a legendary hero from the days of yore.
Yeah, he is basically Anos's rival reincarnated.
To be his best friend. What a freaking bro, dude.
Yeah,
what a
I was
bro.
right.
We were all right in the end.
No, because technically you were banking on that sword dude who didn't matter at all, it turns out.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Just a red herring.
Yeah. The only thing that mattered, I think, is his sword. That's it.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, because that's the sword Lay chose to end up using.
Yeah. That's cool. Who else we got on the list?
We got...
Who else has to compete with someone we've talked about for several minutes?
He's a joker. He's a smoker. He's the Midnight Toker. Joker
yes.
from Fire Force.
Joker.
Or number 52.
52. The Dark Hero. teams up
Hero.
with another good boy, Benny Maru.
I think we had Benny Maru as a best boy candidate in seasons past.
I believe we did.
I don't think he
believe you are
won, but
correct.
he was a candidate.
And you know what? They had probably one of the most fun arcs in Fire Force that
Anytime
I've
anyone
seen.
in Fire Force goes to the Nether, it's just good.
And they have a whole arc where they do it. They have one of probably my favorite fights between Joker and the head of the assassins. And you get
Burns
him.
is there.
Burns is there. Burns shows up and is like, "Yo, what's up, dude? Let me drop some freaking world-bending knowledge on you."
Yeah, so Joker's been around since like episode 3 or 4 of the first season, but we really didn't know much about him. He just kind of shows up, gives some cryptic information to Shinra and leaves, and then we find out he's one of the good guys. He's basically his own neutral sort of anti-hero that's trying to investigate the church on his own.
He's Batman.
He's Batman, and he's cool.
He's very cool. Never forget getting to the top of the building, looking at the church, and then being like, "All right, time to go down."
He's like, why did we climb up here?
Because people expect dark heroes to look down on things. What?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What good? What good writing?
I like how we find out he's kind of a dork.
He is, and I didn't expect to get that kind of depth or story from Joker, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
Last but not least, if we had a third one.
From the god of high school, we have Dewa.
Dewi. Handewi. The Mr. Fister, so to speak.
The guy we're padding the list with.
Uses the sophisticated karate kata to take down his enemies.
Hides a neat friend character. I actually think him versus Jin is one of the better fights in the show, just because we actually get some real build up to that.
Yes, because the only build up that ever happens in that show involves the three main characters, which would be fine if they didn't do so much shit with everyone else. They dropped a lot of shit with no build up.
But yeah, that's the one that we actually get some build up for.
Yeah.
And that's the best fight.
It is one of the best fights, one of the better fights.
But if you had to pick, who would you pick?
Ooh, I'm going first this time.
Well, I need you to pick first, or otherwise it's like you'll just pick what I pick, because you know my tastes are superior.
You are entitled to believe whatever you want. I will choose to believe that Joker is best boy this season. Just his entire dynamic with Benny Maru, getting to see his ability is a deck of flaming cards. Man, that's the coolest shit of all time. And just watching him go around and do stuff is so fun. It's just so fun.
Well, I'll tell you what. You're right. As much as I like Lei, and I would pick Lei if I, like, you know, basically if I was doing like the most handsome man pick, I would pick Lei. He's suave, he's cool, but at the same time, he's not as deep as Joker.
Exactly. That's one of the things about the Misfit of Demon King Academy is a lot of the characters lack depth.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're fun.
It's a world that's made with fun as the key, is the core thing. As long as things are fun, that's all you need.
Exactly. It is built around fun, and the characters, when stacked up to each other, are a lot of fun and still enjoyable to watch. But I think once you take them out of that context and you start comparing them to other more deeply written characters, I think that's when the cracks really start to show. Because Joker is just a man with a lot of depth, a lot of backstory, and a lot of issues.
I like to point out we dived way harder into Best Boy than Best Girl.
Yeah, we did, because I mean, it's kind of obvious. Like the the boys get that kind of depth and inner look.
Fire Force is just hitting it out this season.
They really are. They're knocking it out of the park, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, if you haven't started watching Fire Force already, do it. The first season is fairly weak. I think we'll both admit that, but it picks up right at the end and it keeps that upwards trajectory going. It keeps it hauling. So if you haven't jumped on this train, you better do that now.
If Joker didn't have that episode, I'd say another candidate for best boy would have been Dr. Licht.
Yes.
Because he's done a lot this season.
Exactly. This season has really been about like these two side characters and what they've been doing the entire time. And I think they did a really good job at writing a interesting side story that expands upon the story we've already gotten from season 1. And it's just cool. This is a show that's doing a lot of stuff right. They got their shit on lock. And
now we got the padded list. Yay. I'm not gonna lie, Antagonist this season, best Antagonist is just there weren't really any great standout antagonists.
No, because like I was thinking about it, and it's like Monster Girl Doctor doesn't have an antagonist because it's a fucking medical drama. Rent a Girlfriend doesn't really have.
I just realized Rent a Girlfriend kind of does actually.
I mean, now we know it's Mommy, right? Or is it Kazuya?
Well, I feel like it's Mommy.
I also feel like it's Mommy, but I
guess she's also technically part of the harem too, so.
She is, and that's one of the reasons I would hesitate to put her on the antagonist list. The other one is she just fucking dips for like 5 episodes.
There's like basically 2 shows that don't have antagonists, so we had to struggle to pick from the remaining 3.
Yeah.
So
Fire Force has like a lot of them. We'll talk about that.
Fire Force has a lot of. Fire Force does, but they don't really get focused on this much. Like, that's why I'm not putting, like, show or anything, because we haven't seen him this season.
Yeah. We haven't seen, like... I think we've seen, like, 2... Not counting this most recent episode, I think we've only seen, like, 3, I think.
Yeah, because we're not talking about the current episode this week, just to keep the flow of the thing going, but...
Right.
So, number 1 on the list for best antagonist is Charon from Fire Force, just because he's really the only member of the Evangelist that has even a fight scene this season.
And boy howdy, does he have a fight scene. It is 3 episodes long.
The only other antagonist I can think of is the demon dude, Tenpei, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tenpei!
He's alright, but his path was set. Yeah. He's kind of a one-note villain with a set path. I'm kind of bummed that the villain from this most recent episode showed up now, because I would love to talk about this guy. This guy's cool.
But he'll be for the next award ceremony at the end of the fall.
Exactly.
If he remains good.
Exactly. So we'll stay tuned for next week when we actually start to talk about him, because he's cool. But who else we got?
Commander Jurga, the guy who really hates demons from the Misfit of Demon King Academy. He's been dead for a long time, but his spirit of vengeance has lingered.
What a petty dick to, like, hate someone so much that you die and infect an entire style of magic with your own personality just to keep that hatred going.
Yeah, and then your whole thing is to turn into a big Chaos Marine.
And then he turns into a big Chaos Marine, and they cut his legs off, and they stab him in the eyebrows.
And then lastly, from the God of High School.
J-Gull Take, the shark dude. Shark boy, but no lava girl.
Yeah, who is just mean.
He's an asshole. He's an asshole for like no reason.
He kills
Well,
anybody who's a loser.
yeah,
Because he doesn't want to be a loser.
that shit made me cringe real hard. Like I hate that archetype a lot, actually. I despise it.
I'm better than you. You're a loser, so I can kill you.
You're a loser, so I'm gonna. I think the word loser like takes away a lot of any threat for me because that seems like such a juvenile tag to put on someone.
That's my
You're a
worldview.
loser.
Winners and losers. It
It's
almost
just
sounds like
lame.
it almost sounds like the one person that would view the world that way. The world is built up of winners and losers. I'm a wonderful winner. I win all the time. Just ask anyone. I'm a big winner. People who lose are big losers. Anybody who's not me is a big loser.
You are correct. And I feel like my thoughts are him or on that particular person are the same as I have for anyone else with that worldview. That binary bullshit. Get out of here with your binary bullshit. Anyway,
Yeah,
this
this is a tough pick because I'm not really super into any of them.
yeah, no villains really had any kind of interesting development. It was all just kind of like, I am the bad guy.
I am going to give it to Charon because at least the fight was interesting with him hiding the fact that he was a second generation, making himself appear like a third generation.
I will back you up on that because it is a fight that actually included strategy and
Yeah,
it
and
had a
Shinra
good
developed
flow.
throughout the fight. He learned a new technique through the fight.
Exactly. You've got a lot of different points developing outside of the villain. So he is still a force for change in the show,
Yeah,
even
God
if
of
he
High School.
himself.
Shinra learned something through the fight instead of in a scene he cuts back to later where, hey, remember when I was taught this technique by this old man?
Or doing it right before a fight and fucking it up so that they can justify not having him fight because he's too powerful.
Yeah, instead he's like, hey, I learned about this a little bit, but I've never really put it into practice. Time to put this into practice.
That is another thing that I kind of enjoy about Fire Force is having to strategically think about this guy's powers and what do I do to defeat this guy's powers.
Yeah. Because Shinra basically realizes, oh, there's an opening. There's a moment where he's vulnerable right after he unleashes his energy. So if I strike him then, I can actually do damage. But it's really
Yes.
hard to get the timing down on that.
Timing good.
But yeah, so he made for it took a little longer than I would have liked, but it was an interesting fight.
Yeah, it did. I will always say that fight drags on for too long, but at least the entire time there's stuff going on in the fight. It's still developing. It's not just like two dudes punching each other in the face for 4 episodes. It's two dudes trying to strategically figure out how to defeat the other one. So you get a lot of mental chess. Got a lot of 4D chess going on. I think that's all we have to
Yeah.
say about that.
I
Is
think
this it?
talking about it in hindsight made me realize, yeah, there's definitely no way it's anyone but Karen for this season.
Yeah, because anyone else was literally just one note. I am the villain. I am the bad guy. I do the bad things.
Yeah. So, the one of the most important awards here, because we are the protagonist seat, is the Protagonist Award.
Best Girl 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Sometimes the protagonist is the best girl, but this season I think it's all dudes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So, the best protagonist, the options are Glenn from Monster Girl Doctor,
A
the
wholesome boy who just wants to do medicine while all these ladies are jumping all over him.
the Demon Lord of Tyranny himself, Anos Voldigoad,
AKA, fuck your rules of nature. I abide by my own rules.
and the the fourth pillar himself, Shinra Kusakabe.
Uh, the hero man who goes real fast. I don't know. I didn't have a fun thing for Shinra.
He does go fast.
He's a fun. He goes fast and he does the hero. That's his bit. He wants to be the hero.
Akuma Hiro.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot more than I'm doing him justice now. But I can't think of like a fun thing.
No, yeah, Shinra has grown on me. I think terms of the big the big shonen series now, the only other one I'm really aware of, because I don't check out Black Clover or anything, but I'm aware of My Hero Academia. I would rather watch Shinra than Deku any day.
Me too. I know Black Clover is really popular, but the color palette
it's
and
like cult popular, or it's got a cult following.
I see a lot of people that are like, hey, Black Clover is real good. Do you watch Black Clover? And I'm like, no. The color palette and the way people's faces look piss me off.
I don't associate with enough shonen fans.
They're all right. They're a decent folk if you get down to it.
The best protagonist, though.
Yes. That's what we're here to do.
This is a difficult one, because I'm not picking Glenn. Glenn's neat and all, but he's just a nice guy. That's his whole entire gimmick.
I can agree with that. He is the harem protagonist.
He is padding the list because it wasn't going to be Kazuya.
Fuck no, dude. If you had any hope that we would put Kazuya on this list, you haven't been listening to this podcast.
If there was a worst protagonist category, he'd be in there at number 1.
You know what? We'll give him a dishonorable mention at the end of the show. We'll give him a little DHO.
Special secret category, worst protagonist, summer 2020, Kazuya.
Kazuya. Congratulations, Kazuya. You win. You get a flaming dog of bag.
You don't get a trophy. We just give you the finger. Just fuck you.
Yeah, you get a flaming bag of dog shit. Take it and get out. And never return. But who would you say is the best protagonist?
It's hard because Anos is really cool, but but that's the whole thing with him. He's super cool, and there's never a problem. This guy doesn't sweat.
Again, as I was saying with Lei,
Shinra's growth is really fun to watch, though, because he's a lot more interesting of a character now than he was when we first started. I do really like Shinra.
I'll let you go through your thoughts before I weigh in mine.
I think I will pick Anos because I think Fire Force was a better show overall. I think it's just fun to have a character who is so balls to the walls overpowered to the point where there is nothing that this guy I don't think has ever made a nervous expression once.
He has not.
And they got to know. He kills a dude with his own heartbeat.
Yes.
He beat someone, I think, by blinking or something once before.
Yeah. Yep.
It's ridiculous. It's amazing. He is power fantasy and wish fulfillment taken to the max level.
I am going to be right there with you. As much as I love good story and character development, sometimes you just fall in love with...
Give me dumb fun.
Just an insane character. And I think that's what they really nailed with Anos, is he is so absolutely bonkers ass busted that you shouldn't want to root for him, because I feel like that's where a lot of OP protagonist series end up, is you end up with a protagonist who is just so busted you kind of hate them. That is not the case here.
Yeah,
I actively root for this dude every time, and when I see someone's about to get up to some shit, I am excited
because they
to
made him
see
a
what he
Chad,
does.
but he's not edgy or anything about it. Like, huh, guess I'll destroy you now for mocking me. Like, he literally
Exactly.
doesn't care if people make fun of him. He's so OP. Where they're like, where that part where Sasha gets really mad at the people for thinking that the hero was the one that ended the war or something. And he's like, it's fine. I literally don't care. Let the humans think the human did it.
Exactly. He they have perfectly nailed the balance of like semi apathetic to most things cuz some shit just doesn't matter. Stuff like that doesn't matter. But he comes back, and when things happen to
Yeah.
people he cares about, it is about to get real. Like there are distinct moments in the show where you can say, "Oh, you done fucked up, son.
And the way he
Anos
gets
is
revenge
coming
on
in."
people too, it's not like, you know, in some shows where they take it in the absolute edgiest direction they can, where it's like, I'm either gonna like torture you or do something, some sort of sexual violence.
Yeah.
Where
Not here
instead with
though.
him, with the teacher that kind of screws them, he's like, hey, because you look down on us for being half breeds, I'm just gonna make you stuck being a half breed forever.
The teacher goes after his mom,
Yeah,
and
and
he's like,
he's like, hey, I'm giving you technically he's pretty lenient with that. Like, yeah, she can't like kill herself to get out of it, but she has to basically live a full life of just
"Hey,
being the thing she hates.
I've turned you into a half breed, and I've also busted the shit out of your source so that whenever you do die, you'll always come back as a half breed, so there is no escape. Have fun with that. See ya."
Yeah,
And I just love it. Oh, so good. You deserve it. Revel in once again clutching victory in both
I love when
hands.
he actually does get upset. It's like one of the few times where it's justifiable. Like when that dude stabs like Misha, and it looks like he's
Yeah.
gonna kill her. That's the one time he shows up and he just like whips the guy into the wall,
Yeah, dude. Oh, that scene is so good.
because it's like
Oh,
you fucked with waifu.
you fucked with best girl, dude. You fucked with best girl.
You're
I
done, son.
that is another moment that I personally reveled in a lot. Ain't no one fucks with best girl because my boy Anos is there. He's gonna get him.
Yeah, that's best protagonist.
He earned it.
I'd say he can sit in the seat with everybody else, but instead he just kind of makes a new chair float above them and just sits there.
He built his own protagonist seat out of nothing.
Yeah, he's just floating above them. He doesn't need to
And
share that seat with everybody else.
no, fuck that. Anos doesn't need chairs or like gravity or the boundaries of science
He doesn't even
or
show
laws
up
of
to our
nature.
invitation.
Nope. He sends one of the members of the fan club to come collect his award and be like, "Hey, thanks.
It's
I
like, hey,
hope it's
can you tell Anos we said hi? Uh, yeah, sure. And you know
I
she's
hope
not gonna.
it's I hope it's Eye Patch Girl as opposed to, I don't know, Bowl Cut. I don't know their names
They're all fine, and Anos remembers all their names.
because Anos is the best
That is
because
actually
they
that's what
saved
is
his
cool about
mom.
him. He remembers all their names just because of that. He's like, all right, I will never forget any of your names.
Hey,
I will
you
remember these
guys
forever.
you guys stepped in to protect my moms. Thanks. I'll remember your names forever, and I'll owe ya.
What a Chad.
You love it. Anyway, we have droned on long enough
The
over our
Golden
love of
Trophy now.
Anos.
The most
The
important award.
the fate of countries hangs in the balance with the release of this one award.
This could
Wars
make or break mankind.
wars have been fought over the right to be given this award. Best
It's like a blessing from God.
best anime summer 2020.
Anime of the season, summer 2020. AOTS.
The outs.
Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ian's gonna drum on his desk. Ian's gonna
No, I'm
drum on
not.
his desk. He's gonna drum on his desk.
Nope. I'm gonna
He
check Discord while you. I'm gonna check
jump, up,
some.
up, 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 up.
Look
He's
at
drumming on his
Discord while
desk.
you do that.
Listen to him drum his desk.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'm gonna put in a sound effect of him drumming on his desk. Look at him go.
Don't you
Look at
dare.
him go. He is, dude. He's got a full drum set in there. What's going on?
Don't you do that, you fucking charlatan. You absolute minstrel.
Is that a cello? He has a cello in there? He has
That's
a
not
big
even-
band happening?
That's you charlatan.
How is he playing the
snake
oboe
oil
and the acoustic
salesman.
guitar at the same time?
You
Listen
snake.
to him go.
You snake charlatan. With your oils and patent medicines.
All right, well, that was a good concert. Thank you, Ian. Now, anime of the season.
You absolute degenerate.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment.
That's true. We do take that. That is a compliment here.
The greatest thing you could call me is disgusting.
Let's put that on my tombstone.
Here lies Alex. He was disgusting.
He was absolutely just the worst degenerate. What is your anime of the season, Alex?
You go first because I know what mine is. I want to hear your mental reasoning.
It's a tough choice, to be honest. Because do we pick? I mean, I think it's fairly obvious.
I'm blown away you're going with The God of High School.
Aha! I debated the world. I pretended like I hated the pacing the entire time, just for this one reveal. No, it's not God of High School. It's not Monster Girl Doctor, even though I did have some fun watching it.
Yeah, that's not an anime of the season show. It's just a fun little
It's a show we watch.
Horse Girl Bondage.
Exactly. We watch it for fun and bits. Rent a Girlfriend, fuck no.
Yeah, well, not a great show. Well, not a great show. It was good conversation fodder.
Exactly. It allowed us to look within ourselves.
Same with God of High School, because we got to complain about it and talk about martial arts.
Yeah, I feel like the martial arts bits were pretty decent. So that brings us down to 2. We have Fire Force, which has just taken such a dramatic leap in writing and plotting, and it's just genuinely good, just a real good show. And we also have the Misfit of Demon King Academy, which is fucking balls to the absolute wall bonkers crazy and does not hesitate to go the distance.
It's going the distance. It's going for speed.
She's all alone in a time of need. I think I'm going to give mine to the Misfit of Demon King Academy. I think that's going to be my peak. And here's why. Fire Force is a great show, and I will heartily recommend it, always. But the Misfit of Demon King Academy does so much stuff right that I am not really used to at this point. Having such a busted protagonist that I actually enjoy and root for gives it so many bonus points, because I actually kind of hate the overpowered protagonist stereotype. I think I don't know, it takes a lot of the threat and stress or any of the stuff that makes the show interesting. I think it just sucks all of that out.
Yeah.
But with Misfit of Demon King Academy, you've got this overpowered protagonist who's fun to watch. You've got them taking the plot in the direction of almost more of a crime thriller than an actual I don't even know, fantasy
Yeah,
show.
that is interesting in the sense that it's not a problem he can just destroy with his powerful magics because he doesn't know who his enemy is.
Exactly. And that is something that I feel really kind of elevates the show and shows that they put a lot of thought into it. Is, well, we've got this busted guy. How do we make a plot without having the solution just be, oh, and then he just destroys them? And I feel like since they took it in that mystery direction, it really gave them the freedom to go all out with how just bonkers ass crazy powerful this dude is. And I also feel it works to their benefit having the best friend character end up being the bad guy the whole time, because when they end up fighting, they are A, on equal terms, and B, it is an enemy that the main character actually does not want to kill. And I think they just managed to really pull everything together in a way that was both satisfying and fun to watch.
All
And
right.
Fire Force is amazing, but I've seen it. I've seen all of the Fire Force stuff from season 1.
I am going to pick Fire Force for my anime of the season because I decided this, I think, after finishing the Misfit of Demon King Academy, that was up there for me, and that was my potential anime of the season, but I didn't like how it ended. I felt like the
I
pacing got a little weird near the end, and I didn't like how we didn't really get closure. Just the final battle happened, and then they just speed run to the ending. It's just like, all right, everything's settled in the credit scene.
I I actually disagree. I felt like I there was definitely some pacing issues, but I feel like there was this show, I would say I was very satisfied with the ending. The last fight ended how I pretty much wanted it to end, and I think that's kind of what
I'm
set it
fine with the
apart.
way the fight and everything ended. It's just like after the fight ends, the show basically ends. And I'm like,
Yeah,
wait, where's the? We're not gonna have any like post battle stuff. It's just gonna be a quick like, all right, scene, the end, goodbye.
I didn't need any of that. I think that's what sets our opinions really apart this time.
I
Because
I
I didn't need any of that. Because I knew what was gonna happen. I knew how everything was gonna end, and that's basically how it ended. I will acknowledge, I do think this is kind of a polarizing love it or hate it ending. I have no fault. I can find no
I don't know.
faults
I
with
I
that
have a hard
that
part. I
viewpoint.
have a hard time viewing it as a love it ending. I feel like it's just like it's okay or you don't like it.
Yeah, that
I
was
don't
more of a
necessarily
figure
think it
of
was
speech.
good. Like it's like, oh yeah, that ending that knocked it out of the park.
Satisfying is what I'll say. A satisfied or unsatisfied
And I
ending.
think that's the thing with me. It didn't satisfy me. But for Fire Force, Fire Force was a show I bitched and complained about Fire Force so fucking much when we were watching it that I was constantly looking for a reason to drop it in the first season.
You were.
And and the fact that I've come so far around on it because of how good it's been lately, I think speaks volumes to the level of like development this show has had. And every character that they've added has just been super cool. Like I think his name's Ogun. He was awesome. The skateboard guy.
Oh yeah. Yep, yep.
Even like the talking animals bit, which should have been stupid, actually was a pretty like interesting thing. And learning all about sort of their like lore of their world, like
Yeah.
the tabernacle and the calamity, and how basically, oh, Amaterasu is basically just a ticking time bomb waiting to happen.
It does an amazing job expanding upon the world that we just got to know.
Yeah, the lore gets a lot deeper. We learn right now we're learning more about Hajime and how they control like 75% of like the economy, and how they have a bunch of dirty secrets just like the church. Um, Basically all these new characters and the development that they're getting. Like Benny Maru was one of the coolest characters in season 1, and now they just make it cooler by having him basically work with Joker, who is just given us
One of the
so much new lore about the church,
yeah,
with how they have shadow operatives and how he used to be a part of that, and how him and Burns have both had an Atala link at the same time. That's how they both lost their eye. Everything that they've added to the show has been super cool. Dr. Lick, this has been his season essentially,
yes, this is a very licked heavy season, which is nice.
because
It
I
feels like
enjoyed,
it's very very side character heavy, which is
yeah,
nice.
because Arthur has felt like way more important this season too.
Mm.
He was the one that figured out it was pie when they were inside the tabernacle.
Because Arthur has idiot savant syndrome, where he just knows all of the shit he needs to know.
I just like
Because
how Fire
he's
Force is
Arthur.
able to take a group of side characters and just make them the focus for a little bit, and it always just feels fun. Like they have
That's
such a
one of
big
the
cast, but they pull out a certain like a couple of people for different parts. Like how when they went to the Chinese peninsula, it wasn't even all of the Eighth. I think the only members from the Eighth were just Shinra, Arthur, and Tamaki.
yep,
Everyone else was from other divisions like Juggernaut, Ogun, and the Whistle Lieutenant.
yep. And I think that's one of the hallmarks of a good show is being able to have such a large cast and still be able to take these moments, focus in on like a couple of them, and really just make it work and make it fun. Because everyone feels like they matter. No one is just like a guy who is just there just because.
Yeah,
Everyone has some important impact on the world or the story or something.
and we're learning more and more about the Adela realm and the Evangelist and all that, and I think that's interesting. And I'm excited that we're going to be going up against Hajime next, so I'm pumped. The show's got me hyped for what's to come. The new villain seems really cool,
Yeah, that
so
dude's.
I am. Even if the rest of it doesn't pan out, everything up to this far has been really good, and I don't see it crashing and burning. So
I also don't feel like I don't feel like they could. I think they've built such a good trajectory for themselves in terms of where the story and characters are going. I think it would be really hard to just beans it up so bad that it's just awful.
and again, this is a show I didn't like in the first season.
That's true. I like this a lot more than you did when we started with it.
Yeah, and the fact that I've come around so much on it, I think says a lot for how much it's improved. It's
It
a slow burn.
it is it is a slow burn. It's a show that you need to give the time to build. And it builds very satisfyingly. And season 2 is real good. It's real good so far.
It's
And
real
I
good. I'm looking forward to following it throughout the rest of the fall.
yeah, I kind of hope they get a season 3. We If they do, we will almost definitely not pick it up for the podcast. But it's real solid. I like the art direction as well because the art direction in season 1 is a little more generic. You can see there the influences because the artist for Fire Force is the same as the artist for
I think you can just
oh
see David Production is just really pulling out their A game for the animation for it.
yeah, it looks nice. It has sequences where they don't hesitate to just like play with proportion and lines
Like any
and
scene where
make things
Joker looks more like a cartoon character.
yeah. It's it's just good.
Yeah.
They knocked it out of the freaking park.
Like the lines on his body are just so different from everybody else.
And I think that really does a good job of emphasizing the fact that Joker is not a part
Yeah,
of the
because
world.
he's more like jagged and like rough on his design than everyone else.
Joker does not fit with the art design of everyone else because he is not meant to fit with the art design of
Well,
everyone
and
else. His character is an outsider.
I love all the crazy faces some of the women in the show do, like
Yeah.
um the First Pillar or Ina.
Yeah. They do a good job of cutting to making people look crazy because they are crazy. There's a lot of crazy ass people.
Yeah, that's double award this year. We have to
Yeah.
crack the trophy in half, split it in two.
Yep. I think it's a rare occurrence. It does not happen very often. So, now it is the time for the keeping of the house.
Yep, now we plug all our shit and tell you you should watch us. And this is the perfect time to watch us because a new season is about to start.
Yes, you'll get to see our opinions on all kinds of new stuff.
Which
We
the fall
are.
season is already looking better than the summer.
I punched my mic stand again because I had to scratch my face. Um, we, for reference, next season we are picking up 5 new shows on top of Fire Force. So we'll have our new lineup, and then we will wrap up each episode talking about Fire Force. That does mean it is still eligible for all kinds of awards and fun things at the end of the season, like we did with this season. We do that every season.
Yeah, it
So,
could possibly even win Anime of the Season twice in a row.
yeah, that would be some shit, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. You never know. There's only one way to find out, though, and that's to stay tuned.
Yeah, so hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you are on YouTube as well, leave a comment. Tell us what your favorite anime of the season is. Your
Yeah,
picks for best boy and girl and OPED villain, protagonist. Tell us all that stuff.
even if it's a show we didn't watch this season,
Yeah, let us know.
let us know what
Um,
we missed.
let us know what we missed. Uh, oh yeah, like the video as well if you're on YouTube and you did like the video. If you are on other forms of podcast media, i.e., your iTuneses, your Google's Play Music, your Deezers, Spotify, iHearts, Radios, then subscribe, leave reviews on those forms of media. And
Yeah, if you want updates on when we upload, you can always follow us on social media, Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist Seat, respectively.
that is also where we post when new episodes go live. Generally, they will go live on YouTube first, and then episodes will go live on podcast platforms every Friday.
I'll give you a little hint. Twitter updates faster.
Twitter does update faster. It's because Alex does it.
Yeah,
Alex is the Twitter man.
I upload it and then I immediately post on Twitter. And then Ian will get to it like 4 hours later and be like, oh, yeah, he uploaded the episode. Let the Facebook fans know.
I'm a busy man. Sometimes I'm not even at home.
It's all right. Facebook is boomer book.
Facebook is boomer book. We might do something about that. I've got a couple ideas. I don't know how much I'll actually have time to mess around with stuff like that. But if you want to receive updates on things like that, or we have plans for some future specials. This season we did a special on the Goblin Slayer movie with one of our friends, Joe from Imori. That's a Japanese clothing brand. Go check them out. They're pretty cool. And that's where we also post those. Sometimes those are YouTube only, some exclusive content.
And we are planning for a Halloween special, which is going to be YouTube only. So hit that subscribe button.
Yeah. Get in that subscription category so you can listen to us talk about should we reveal what it's going to be or should we leave them in suspense?
I'll just say right now it's going to be some witchy activity.
Witchy
activity.
Oh, what could that mean? Oh, stay tuned to find out.
It's not the show that reference comes from.
No. No,
But
it's
yeah.
not.
See you
Anyway,
next time. See
stay
you
tuned.
next season.
Thanks for watching. This one's been a little bit longer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next season. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.